prior to this, right, I never really talked about shit that was going on. I just be like, all right, I'm gonna thug it out, like do this, do that, and keep it moving, because at the end of the day, the world stops for nobody, right? Yeah. But you got to take those moments to realize, like, damn, this is what's wrong with me. My cousin even has a song. It's called Wrong. He's like, there's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but it's literally haunting me. Yeah. And that's that empty feeling that you feel. That's like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with me? What is this feeling that I can't fucking pinpoint? Yeah. And you just continuously battle it and battle it. I was on the live the other day with Alan the official. And he talks about, he's like, you know, sometimes it's easier when you give that feeling a name. Yeah. Now you're waking up every day and you're fighting that feeling named whatever, Bob, right? Rather than swinging at it in the dark and not knowing who you're fighting.
Because when you can identify the issue or what's making you feel that way, it's the best thing ever. Because sometimes if you're dealing with an issue and you know what is making you feel that way, you could sometimes put that issue to the side and come back to it later. Like, hey, I know I still got to handle this. I know this is why I feel down, but I can't let you bother me or conquer me today, because I need to conquer Monday through Friday and then deal with you later, you know? I need to get through my week, get through my day before I revisit this. And it works. It helps me. It has helped me come a long way as well.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a special guest, definitely something different, a manager. So go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Yeah, my name is Equan. I'm a music manager, a business manager. I manage clothing brands. I manage rappers.
Looks like a baseball manager right now.
Oh, man, I know. I'm a White Sox fan, you know. I always got to let people know that.
Yeah, how'd you feel about that Tim Anderson situation?
Man, I saw that. I'm still looking into. I saw people talking about it. But I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't fully grasp what was going on.
Yeah, people are saying that, like, with, I don't know who it was, Donaldson, they're like, well, he was referring to the article where Tim Anderson calls himself Jackie Robinson, but everybody else like, nah, it was racial.
I feel like when it comes to things like that, you have to believe Tim Anderson and also understand that most of these rich people think they can say whatever they want and get away with it. You know what I mean? Especially through the internet or through the media. And then you could just say, then they get away with it by saying, oh, you interpreted my words the wrong way. But I love Tim Anderson. Shout out to him. I'm a huge fan. I actually follow his photographer on social media.
He said, I'm about to go sign that dude real quick.
Yeah. I rock with him. For sure.
Shit, make sure you follow Equan's Twitter, bro.
Yeah. And if you follow my Twitter and you don't like to see wild things, please censor it. Like, yeah.
Unfollow.
Don't unfollow, but just censor some words. Maybe booty, sluts.
Hey, what you say on the story the other day? I love sluts, or what? We love sluts and whores.
I did say that. I do love sluts and whores. I do. No, it's just fun, man. I feel like people think that's me trying to be funny, but I'm like, no, that's just who I am. Like I like outgoing girls, people that like to have fun. Be yourself. Don't be timid. Don't be prudish. You know. I was at a bar last Friday, and this girl was telling me, hey, I do this with this amount of guys, like I feel bad. I'm like, you do what everybody else do. You just, having fun with a bunch of different guys. I like to have fun with a bunch of different girls. What's wrong with that,
He don't judge.
I don't judge,
I saw a tweet earlier that some girl came up to you at the bar and said some shit.
Oh, yeah. So this is the same girl. Yeah. She came up to me and said, where was Usher at 7 o'clock? And I was like, what? And I know what she was referring to. She was like, because 7 o'clock on the top, I'm in the drop top, like cruising the street. It's an Usher verse. And I was like, well, out of all people, you came up to me because I'm black. I was like, I get it, but you bogus as hell, Like, why would you come up to me and say that?
Bro, this shit had me dying when I see that shit.
I had to let people know. Sometimes when situations happen, I'll be like, should I tweet about this? Because will I get canceled if I tweet this? I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I was at Feds. I feel like I shouldn't tell people I be going, but I was at this bar called Feds. If you don't know what Feds is, it is in the West Loop. It's called Federales. That's the longer name of it. And I was talking to this girl, and this dude came up to me from a distance. Hey, bro, you want some chapsticks? Your lips look a little dry. And I was like, bro, where did you come from? Why are you looking at my lips? And you bold for offering me some chapstick. I was like, are you trying to like cock block? Are you trying to introduce yourself? Like, what's going on here? Like, he's like, hey, I'm just part of your group. I know, like, you're just like a distant associate of my group. And I was like, what group? What are you talking about? Like, I was trying to figure out who he was. But just to come to find out, he was actually part of our group that was sitting at a table somewhere. But he just saw me at the bar talking to this girl. It was weird. It was a weird situation. And I want to tweet about it, but people were going to be like, I didn't want people to come at me like, what's wrong with that? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, someone can't offer you chapstick? So, I don't know, man.
But no, that's a weird ass thing to be offering somebody, especially like if you don't know them like that.
And then he offered my boy chapstick too, and I was just like,
why is he going around offering chapstick?
we're gonna leave that one at that. Yeah, that was a little weird. Yeah.
Well, that's Equan, everybody. Before we get into it, make sure you go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please follow me. Yes.
And follow him at Equan3.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro, so let's get into it, right? I mean, this one don't really got a theme because I feel like me and you just are able to talk, like, one-on-one, right? I know who you are. We've gone out a couple times, so.
Yeah.
What really got you involved in the music scene?
You know, every time someone asks me that, it's the same story, you know, because the way it happened was kind of cool. So I was working at an art gallery, right? And my job was to greet people that walked into the art gallery. Also, I was supposed to give tours, hang up the artist's art, and also when the artist whose art was on display for that month, I was supposed to like cater to that person, like if they ever showed up when they did their presentations. So when I was at the art gallery, there was this guy who did like a Nike exhibition, and my boss was like, hey, don't drop that. That's a couple mil. And I stopped. I looked at the painting. I was like, a couple mil? I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I can probably do this, you know? Like, you make, like, I'm, like, literally at this art gallery, I'm studying. Like, I am on YouTube watching MIT videos on economics, something I don't want to do. But, you know, I'm in college. I'm like, this is the way to make money. This is how I'm going to get a job. I got to do this. But then that got me interested. It's like, man, people are making money, and this guy probably didn't go to school. He probably just, you know, had a talent, got good at it, and someone noticed how good he was and started giving him money for something he was good at. So I just started brainstorming different ideas. You know, what can I do? So I decided to become a photographer. I found a camera, and I self-taught myself. I was going to events taking photos. I was going to concerts taking photos. I would sneak into concerts and say, hey, I was hired to be a photographer, and get led into the pit for free, you know. My first concert was like Famous Dex. And so I was going to all these events taking photos. I was just taking photos of people, then I would send it to them. Like, hey, bro, I took a photo of you. You like it? They'd be like, yeah, bro, and they'll share it. Some people would tag me, some people won't. I wasn't tripping because I was doing it a lot, like Sunday through Monday, like every day. And so after a while, I was meeting so many people. And this is while I was still in college. My artist who I manage now, I manage two artists, but the one I started managing first was Nico Supremo.
Shout out Nico.
And, you know, I was taking him to some of these events with me. He realized, he was like, how you know all these people? I was like, photo shoots. Or like, I was just meeting him because I was going to these events with my camera. And he was like, man, you know a lot of people. And me and Nico have known each other, you know, since we were like 14, 15. So I've known him for a while, but he'd never seen me in that environment. So he was like, man, like, you meet all these people in the music scene. You know this person that can help out with this. You meet engineers. You meet cover artists. You're meeting all these different type of characters. You know, he asked me one day, like, hey, slide to the studio session I'm having. And I was like, sure. And when I slid, he was like, hey, I've been thinking about it for a while. And, you know, I think that you would be a great music manager. And I was like, really? Because I have no clue what to do as a music manager. I had no clue what to do, where to start, how to, you know, get things done, what I should do for him. It was just like I just jumped into some water, you know, without knowing how to swim.
I feel like that's mainly how it happens, you know. You just kind of jump in and see where it fucking takes you, you know? And that's the shit that, like, I'm trying to navigate now at this point is, okay, now we've been doing this for so long that how do we take it to the next step? And a lot of people won't necessarily help you out in that regard, right? And I'm just realizing that now. Like, everybody always says that, oh, people in Chicago don't want to help each other. It's not that people in Chicago don't want to help each other. It's like you got to find the right people that are going to help you.
What I could say about that next step is you don't know. You're not supposed to know. It happens. It comes to you, right? You may end up in a situation. You may meet someone one day. It may just be a regular business day and something may just click in your head. But you have to, like, I always tell myself this: if everything happens for a reason, and I gotta follow my gut. I don't want to sound cliche, but it's so true. For example, Patrick's son, met him last year. One of my homies that I met at work, he said, "Hey, I think you'll like this guy. He's really good at music." I was, people tell me that all the time. People send me music. There's been people asking me to be their manager for the longest time, but he sent me music, and I was like, "Oh, this dude can rap. Oh, he's good. I like it." But then I had to meet him. I was like, "Let me meet this guy." The dude was nice. We related on a lot of things. He's really from Chicago, like south side of Chicago where I'm from. I remember we were driving down 63rd, and we were like, "Oh, that used to be a Walgreens. Oh, that used to be a Moo and Oink." Like, we was relating on things like that, like about our childhood. And I was like, "Man, this gonna be my boy." And me and Pat are real, like, we're homies. Like, we hang out. If it ain't about music, we're doing things outside of music. Like, we're hooping with each other. We talk about sports, talk about video games, we talk about movies. Like, he's a huge DC fan. I'm a huge Marvel fan. And we go back and forth and we debate about that. So things just come to you. You just gotta, and when they do come to you, you just gotta be ready and just sit in the driver's seat and get ready to drive.
So how do you feel like you taking that step of getting to know the artist has benefited you? But also, it can be a benefit and a negative, right? Because sometimes you get to know somebody too much and you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. So let's talk about the positive first. I think that you start to learn more things, right? Because with Nico, I was learning things from scratch, building things up with him, meeting people with him, figuring out things with him. With Pat, I had a lot of things figured out. I had resources. I had connections. I had a network. But what I had to realize was that, and this is a negative. They are two different people, right? So I couldn't treat them the same. They're both two different artists. So one thing that Nico understood, Pat may not, and one thing Pat may understood, Nico may not. So, like, I had to treat them differently, and it just took asking questions, figuring out what they like and what they don't like. And then when it came to Lewis, I managed Lou. His clothing brand Negatives, man, I had no, to be honest with you, I was like, how do I manage a clothing brand? What do I start with there? This is a whole new playing field for me. But it's like, hey, I do know someone that creates merch, so that was the first thing I did. I connected him with that guy. Hey, I do know a studio where you can shoot photo shoots at, so I do know somewhere that you can take photos of your product. Also, we both of us know a lot of people. These people should be wearing your merch at all times. So they just took that. But if we go back to Negatives, no pun intended, it's like when things start to slow down, when you're not dropping merch as a clothing brand, how do you stay relevant? How do you continue to keep your name out there? And that's something we're still figuring out. That's something we're still trying to find the middle ground on. But all of that is fun, figuring those things out. So I love what we do with Nico, Pat, Lou, everybody. It's fun.
Man, bro, you got a lot going on.
Yeah,
and
I do.
Like I said, we've been hanging around each other for a while, and the only reason I knew you managed Negative was because you posted about it. Yeah. But we've never actually had that conversation about it, right? Yeah. The other thing about being in the industry is the people that aren't necessarily supporting you right away, right? Drake said it in How About Now, right?
Yeah.
You ain't fuck with me then, but how about now, right? But then he also says, always felt like my vision been bigger than the bigger picture. Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you. Crazy how even when it miss ya, shit'll come back around and get ya.
Mm-hmm.
You think about that shit, right? Yeah. That everything that missed you, you know, it'll come back around and get you. And people always double back. People always double back. You even told me a story recently about how, you know, people were doubling back now because, oh, they got a little bit of clout or some shit.
This is the thing, right? When you're feeling glory, everyone around you feel that glory as well. But when you're not feeling glory, people aren't feeling that glory. So they start to feel like you're not doing nothing or you're not doing enough. So when they're not feeling that attention, that clout that you receive, they feel like that you're not doing anything. So they see you. They're looking at your bad sides. They're saying they start naming all the things you're doing wrong, right? But then once everything starts to pick up again, everything starts to go good. Everyone in your DMs. Everyone wants to figure out what you got going on, what's next, how can they get involved, right? Which it's if you understand it, you're okay with it, right? It's just like I'm not gonna give you what I have, and I'm not gonna let you take what I have. You know, you have to be able to contribute in some form or way, whether that you introduce me to someone, you bring me a resource, or you help me get something done. You can't just be around and taste the glory without help cooking, you know, the food, you know. So that's my motto.
And I just had that conversation with Josh K where they talk about it on another podcast with Fabre Media, right? And he talks about how relationships are reciprocal. They're not transactional. It being reciprocal, right? I felt like that resonated with me so hard because just like you said, you got to be able to connect with people and offer them something as well. You can't just take, because when you're doing that, it's like, how are you benefiting the relationship? And there soon becomes this like stigma within the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that person knows. It's not like they're not aware of it or naive, right? They know what's going on, but they're allowing you to, you know, show your best self before they do something about it.
And to add to that is some people believe that doing something for you is bringing attention to you, you know, like, hey, like, if you do this for me, it's going to help boost your brand. It's going to help bring people eyes onto you. That's not really doing much for me because that's not guaranteed and that's not promised. You know, sometimes you need to see physical results, something that's attainable, right, something you can touch. You know, I don't care if you think you can get someone to look at me. I can do that myself. There's not any, like, just like you post on social media, I can do the same thing. I need you to be able to help me get something done at a lower cost. You know, if I need to go use a studio, a photo studio, help me get it done at a lower cost. If we're shooting a music video, help me do it at a lower cost. I don't need you to say, hey, I got 10,000 followers, I'm not going to pay you, but if I post this about you, if I post your work, if I post what you do, all these people are going to see it. That I don't care about that because followers don't reciprocate to revenue.
What's one of those situations where you've had to deal with that?
Man, am I giving out all the tea?
You don't got to give out all the tea.
Oh man,
shit, I mean, if you wanted to treat it like Twitter, bro, go ahead.
Nah, man. I'll go back into the past a little bit with my photography then, because with my artists, I don't want to put their business out there because we deal with stuff like that on a daily basis. But as a photographer, being a freelancer is a tough task because it's not a lot of money in it unless you have high-end and consistent clients, right? I dealt with a client. This person was very attractive. They were a good model, but you know, if you want me to travel here, and here, you want me to be available from this time to this time, you have to pay me. That's because my time is valuable, and getting to these places costs money, right? So you have to throw me money. This person's like, hey, instead of paying you, you know, you're going to get clients left and right. You know, you're going to get about $500 from this photo shoot. Not true. This person ended up paying me, right? Because I told him, like, you need this more than I do, right? You obviously got something going on. You need someone that's going to do it at a lower cost, which is me. I'm giving you a price that's not that expensive. These other people out here are going to tax you, bro. So I ended up doing a shoot. I didn't get a single follower from that photo shoot. You know, and it's just like, that's what I'm talking. I knew that already, but it's like, don't, you know, blow all the smoke in my ear, all this BS about what I'm going to get out of it, rather than that's not physical, something I can't touch, you know? Like, I've never been a huge follow me on this or, oh, man, my followers just hit 2,000K. Like, no, I've never been that guy. So that stuff I'm indifferent about.
Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, it's also fake. Yeah. Like, that, none of that shit really matters. Like, yes, it matters to an extent, right? Because those are the people that are going to support you and make sure that you're eating, right?
Exactly. Also, like, because I throw shows as well. When I throw shows, an artist is like, hey, put me on a lineup. I'm going to bring this amount of people. I put an artist on a lineup that's probably had less followers than them on social media, that probably have had less music out, probably been in the music game less than them, had way more people show up to a show than they have. And it's like, I understand how social media works. You don't have to lie to me. Like, you're not fooling no one. Like, I've been doing this since I was 20 years old. I'm about to be 26. So I've been doing it for about 6 years now, so I understand it. So.
And talk about that a little bit, because you're the first person that really opened my eyes to that, right? When I first started doing this shit, I kind of looked at, how many followers does this person have? Mm-hmm. What is this person going to bring? How much attention, right? Rather than, the interaction. And you mentioned that with Mia, right? Mia Alva, shout out Mia, that she's one of those artists that doesn't have that many followers, but they all interact.
You want people that's going to support you, right? These people that's going to help you push your brand. They're going to be sharing it, talking about it, really, coordinating with you on the drops about your interview. You don't want people that's trying to, like I said, take instead of give. Because what happens is people have these followers, they think they're above you. Like, they think they're doing you a favor, right? And it's like, no, we're helping each other, both our platforms and our brands out to get from point A to point B, to get to a better spot, right? And you have some good, you've had some, some high-end people on this podcast who I think were very supportive and they were showing love, which is good, and I respect those people. But then you also told me about people that I know they look like they have a huge platform, but that doesn't do anything for them, that kind of, rejected your invitation to come or was just being, weird about it, which I'm like, hey, this dude is probably going to be the next big podcast in Chicago, in my opinion.
Appreciate that.
100% do.
I think that just comes with the territory. I've talked about it where you can't expect everybody to say yes, but I also respect those people that say no a lot more than I respect the people that are just going to say, oh, yeah, I'll get to it, or I'll let you know. Because what the fuck does that mean to me? Personally, at the end of the day, I believe that somebody's word means the most, right? But if you haven't proven that to me, then how can I take that for anything?
Yeah. But there also, there's like you have to look at the good side too, is that every day you do this podcast, or every day you go out there and record a song, or every day you go out there and drop a shirt, or every day you go take a photo shoot, you get better at it. And that's what you want the most, right? You want improvement, you want practice, you want repetition, you want rehearsal. If you're getting better, you see an increase, you're doing the right thing. Even if it's small. Man, I am the king of, like, I glorify, like, the small wins. Like, man, that was this time last year we weren't doing that. Like, we have a studio now built for our artists now. Man, if we had that 2-3 years ago, the amount of money we would have saved would have been insane. But I don't regret not having it back then, because we learned, we met people through there. But having what we have now and being where we're at now, even if it's a small difference, it's amazing. It's like a blessing, so I love it. So it's fun too.
You talk a lot about the studio, bro.
Yeah.
And I love to see that you're so prideful about it. And you tell people, like, hey, Slide, come work, like, tap in. So go ahead and talk about it. Promote yourself, bro. Promote Equan's home studio.
Yeah, so, like, it's one of my biggest investments, bro. Like, I spent so much money on it. Everyone has a studio. There's a studio everywhere. People got studios in their home, but, like, I was at a point where I was in a club blowing off money. I'm spending $1,500 and $2,000, $3,000. My boys could tell you, we blowing bread in the club. There's days we didn't even leave with a girl. We're blowing off money, and it's like, man, like, we can be putting this money elsewhere. And I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to my boy Dave. Shout out to Astro. They were the ones, like, hey, bro, like, you ain't got to be in the club blowing your money. If you got it, put it towards something. And I was like, true. And I did my research. I reached out to engineers I know. I reached out to some artists I knew. Hey, what does it take to build a studio? People were giving me ideas. My boy Ronnie, Rage, Cole Krugel, Malibu Gate. Those are the 3 people that kind of told me what I needed to build a studio. They were like, what are you looking for? And they already know my 2 artists. So they were like, this is the type of equipment you're going to need for these 2. And this is the software you're going to need. And I was like, bet. So I just went. I found a place to buy it from. And my boy Bout told me where to buy it from. I went and found it. They told me, and I had a sales agent on the phone. I was like, man, this dude guided me through everything. Hey, I told him this is my budget. He's like, yeah, I can help you work around your budget. Man, it was golden, and it was there within like a week. All equipment came. I set it up. Then my next phase was to find a crib that I had to myself where I could set up home base. Found a crib, 2-bedroom, got a little studio in one of the rooms, got it soundproof now. It's amazing. It's a blessing because it's going to save us so much money. And also I want someone to like get like a Grammy or something from recording the song in my crib. Hopefully. Maybe it's a dream, but dreams come true.
How much does that Grammy mean to you guys as a collective, right? Because you're a part of the team.
I just want people to love the music, I want people to know the lyrics. There's times where we'll be at an event, Nico's not performing or Pat's not performing, they'll play their song, and I'm like, oh, man, that's dope. Like, y'all playing that song off straight love. I didn't even, because Nico or Pat asked me, like, did you tell them to play that? I was like, no, I didn't tell them to play your music. They're just doing it because they like the song. You got to be proud of that. But you got to keep doing it, keep dropping music. You got to keep getting people to buy in, get girls to like your music. Get the DJs to like your music. And that's one thing Nico's been smart about lately. He's becoming friends with all the music. We were at, what's that one bar? It's in the West Loop. It's Emporium in the West Loop. They were playing Nico music. And I was like, oh, man, this is fire.
Did they know you guys were there?
Yes, the DJ. Yeah. Squaduble. Yeah, Squaduble was playing. She was playing Nico music. And it was pretty fun. It was cool. And, like, we're looking, like, we didn't, she didn't say when she was going to play it. She just started doing it. And we're looking at the people listening, like, are y'all nodding your heads? Are we bumping to it? You see the little white kids in the crowd trying to shoot, just do the dance moves and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. That's what I love. That's what I love. So
you said we need those white teenagers from Naperville to
yes,
love
sir.
our shit.
I ain't gonna lie. If I'm gonna keep it a buck, these are 2 crowds you need to love your music: Black Twitter or white people. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Also, let me tell you 3 things about marketing yourself. 1, you need Black Twitter to love you. You need white people to love you, and then you need controversy. The internet loves controversies. They love the negative. They love everything wrong with the world. The internet, they love the negative. Shout out to Lou. If it's something negative or something that goes against the norm, if it's the opposite, people love it. That's why when I tweet about some weird or something freaky, people they're replying. Like, I started naming foods I didn't like. Literally the reason I did that was an experiment. Though I really don't like those foods, but I'm gonna post about this and see what people say.
He a little weird, bro. He don't like popcorn.
Yeah, I don't like popcorn, and I tweeted about it. People were going crazy. You don't like popcorn? What? I remember on Cinco de Mayo, I had tweeted, y'all like chopped up hot dogs and eggs? People were going crazy. Oh, that's a grandma legend. That's a household meal. Like, what you mean? That's an OG meal for breakfast. If you ain't got nothing else in the crib, and I was like, dang. I knew it was gonna get people heated. If you could find something that people are gonna disagree with, they'll talk about it all day. Because people love to win arguments. People love to debate. So
shit, all publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
How would you suggest you get people to fucking love you on Black Twitter, and how you get white people to love you, bro?
So Black Twitter, like, I think Black Twitter is like one. They gotta see something they've never seen before, because Black Twitter they like trendy things. So Black Twitter want to catch on to the next trend, whether that's the next person that's making TikTok videos, the person that's getting embarrassed, anything that seems popular at the time, Black Twitter's gonna hop on it. Now, white people is gonna also like trendy things, but they want it to be good, something that everyone in that circle is gonna accept, because white people accept what other white people like. I'm sorry for my white friends and my white homies. Yeah, I got to talk about y'all a little bit. So if think about the typical history. White people absorb what someone else has told them to believe, right? Even in their own household. If your parents tell you to believe A, B, and C, you're going to take A, B, and C to the heart. You know what I mean? So, like, if this one white boy likes Nico or Pat's song or likes Negative Brand, those 3 other white people are like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's some city people that I know them, too. Oh, yeah, I'm cool. I'm in. I'm groovy. You know, that's how it works. And then with the controversy thing, you know how that goes.
Just fucking piss people off on their national holidays.
Exactly.
So honestly, bro, I really wanted you to come on here, not because we had a fucking last minute cancellation, but the fact that every time we talk, I feel like you always have some good shit to tell me, right? You always have some good advice, especially business wise. So how has being a businessman helped you grow professionally and personally?
It's a lot of learning lessons. Like, one thing you have to know is everything is not going to go as you planned it. Nothing's going to go as you planned. Like, you have this big plan in your head. You guys have an idea how you want it to go down, but it's never going to work out that way. If it does go that way, you weren't trying hard enough, in my opinion, right? Like, one of the biggest shows I've thrown was at Shuba's, and I had an artist counsel on me, like, right when I had the flyer and I was about to announce the show. But I always have a backup plan, right? I know a lot of artists. I know a lot of people that's looking to perform, and I know a lot of people that know how to perform as well. Because there's people that's looking to perform, but they don't know how to do it in front of a large crowd. So I just figure out plan A, plan B, plan C, and also when you're planning things, run it by someone. I'm on the phone with Nico. I'm on the phone with Lou. I'm on the phone with Dave. I'm on the phone with Pat. Just telling them, hey, this is what I'm thinking. How does it sound to you? What does this look like? Does it sound like something I should do? You want to be part of it? I always run it through somebody because it may sound good in my head, but the moment I get to talking, it may not be the best thing ever. So it's best to run something by someone. But other than that, be confident in your idea as well. You thought of it for a reason. You don't think of something because you don't think it's possible, but is it within your grasp? I have a lot of resources. I know a lot of people, so I always think about, man, can I work with this? Can I get it done with just what I have now? Who would I reach out to if I want them to do this, and this? I know DJs, so that's all. I'm always going to DJ for a show. I know a lot of venues now, so I can reach out to different venues.
You guys know hella DJs, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but man, fucking Jerb, Narcolex, like literally those 2 were because of Nico. And then I heard the stories of how you guys met him, and I'm like, damn, these dudes.
Like I said, we were going to the clubs a lot. We were blowing money, and we were meeting these DJs. And one thing is, like, Nico's a Chicago rapper and he's Latino. So like, it's only a small few Latino rappers out here. So Nico stands out, right? So for him, he has to try harder. So, but he's recognizable to other Latinos. Like they give him his what's the word?
His flowers.
Flowers. You know, they give him his flowers. Hey, I respect what you're doing. You guys are doing good. Because when that boy Nico in work mode, he in work mode. It ain't no stopping that kid. And it's good. I like to see that. It keeps me busy. And it's fun too because, you know, Mia, we meet girls. We go to parties. We smoke a lot of weed. We drink. It's fun. It's fun.
You guys do a lot of shit, and you guys are just a fucking vibe, bro. Every time I link with you guys, it's a fucking vibe.
That's a lot of us too. It's a lot of us. It ain't just me and Nico, man. Like when it comes to Nico Supremo, a lot of people help out in different ways. We're the core too, but when we're going out, when we're meeting people, when we're going to these events, we try to roll in gang deep. You know, his last show where he didn't perform. You was there. It was like 21 of us. We all we walked out that motherfucker together. It was good. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. So I want to get into more of the personal aspect, right? Who the fuck is Equan, right? What kind of personal adversity have you overcome that has made you who you are today?
I think the biggest adversity was that I had to learn how to be independent. Growing up, I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I had an older brother, a little brother, and a little sister, and I had just my mom. My mom had me at 19, so she had 4 kids by the age of 24, right? I'm 25, not a single child. I got a dog. You know, I couldn't imagine what she had to go through. So it was, if I wanted something, I had to go get it for myself. My mom did the best she can to provide, but I understood she couldn't do that for me. But, learning how to be independent, going out there, and I had a job every summer. I never not had a job. My first job was at Aeropostale in a water tower. I worked at Wrigley. I worked in the basement of Target. I worked in the basement of Macy's. I worked for a Greek guy at a restaurant. I worked at a smoothie shop. I just had to be independent because I had to have money to get things done. I had to pay for things at school. Things happened where I got in trouble with the law. I needed money for that. I needed money to help Nico pay for the studio. It was a point where me and Nico had the same job. It was pretty cool. I would be in the front, he would be in the back, and I would run up to him like, "Hey, bro, he just sent the cover." Or, "Oh, bro, he just sent your mix and master song over. Hey, like right after this, you have a show." Like I remember one time I was throwing a show down the street from where we were working, and we both got off at the same time. We didn't even shower. We just changed, and it's probably one of the greatest shows I've ever thrown. I mean, when I say we rocked that place, it was crazy. But it's like learning how to be independent and do things on your own takes you a long way, because when you don't know how to do things on your own and you face objections, you don't know what to do. But when you're independent and you come across a problem, you know how to problem solve. You know how to think of a solution. You don't have all the answers, but you have a lot of answers for a single problem. So I think that's the greatest blessing. And my mom always used to tell me, like, when things used to happen, she'd be like, "Breathe, calm down." Cause I used to be that kid, how when little kids get mad at me, that used to be me.
You say you be holding your breath and shit because you're pissed off.
Yeah, no, I'd be like breathing and like having panic attacks. But like when I got to college, I was by myself. So she was just like, when you hit an issue, it's just you out there. Like, don't matter who say you're a friend, it's you. No one your closest friend can give up on you. And I was like, man, that's some real stuff. So I just had to figure out how to do things on my own and be very independent, which is like me now. Like, I live by myself. I pay my own bills. When if I need a little help on something here and there, my homies got me. But like, at the end of the day, I'm a very independent human. So.
What kind of negative impact did that have on you, being the oldest, other than financially?
I'm the second oldest, but I felt like that, but me and my older brother lived two different lives. He typical Chicago, nigga, and I was that boy that was like, let me go to college and, see if this works. And the thing is like, people thought I was gonna be like that goody two shoe, that golden child. Like, oh, he's going to college. Oh, look at him getting into business. So people had high expectations of me. So I always tried to maintain that. Like, man, I can't let people see me when I'm down. Or I can't tell you what my pocket's looking like. I can't come to you when I really need you. Like, I was trying to hide that part of me. But I've learned, one of my homies had told me one day, I remember this vividly. We were on my back porch when I was still staying with my mom back when I was in college. He goes, "I think you will be a better version of yourself if you tap in with your emotions." I was like, "Man, what do you mean by that?" He was like, "Bro, understand why you feel the way you feel. Use that. It's a superpower. And once you understand that feeling, you're going to know how to take care of that feeling at that moment." And I was like, that makes sense. So when I felt angry, I knew how to handle that emotion. When I was sad, I knew how to handle that emotion. Shout out to Sad Boy Radio.
Sad Boys for real.
Yeah, when I was feeling some emotion, because when I was growing up, and for him to see that, he just because he was always around me. He was like, "Man, I feel like when you feel an emotion, you either try to hide it or you don't know how to deal with it. You just start laughing or something." And I'm like, "That's true." So like, I had to figure out, how to take care of things, how to deal with myself, and that even helped with relationships as well, and it went a long way. And I think that it helped me grow a lot. It helped me grow a lot for sure.
It's a middle child thing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm the second oldest, so I feel like prior to this, right, I never really talked about shit that was going on. I'd just be like, all right, I'm going to thug it out, like, do this, do that, and keep it moving, because at the end of the day, the world stops for nobody, right? Yeah. But you got to take those moments to realize, like, damn, this is what's wrong with me. My cousin even has a song. It's called Wrong. He's like, there's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but it's literally haunting me. Yeah. And that's that empty feeling that you feel. That's like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with me? What is this feeling that I can't fucking pinpoint? And you just continuously battle it and battle it. I was on the live the other day with Alan the official, and he talks about it. He's like, you know, sometimes it's easier when you give that feeling a name. Now you're waking up every day and you're fighting that feeling named whatever, Bob, right? Rather than swinging at it in the dark and not knowing who you're fighting.
Because when you can identify the issue or what's making you feel that way, it's the best thing ever. Because sometimes if you're dealing with an issue and you know what is making you feel that way, you could sometimes put that issue to the side and come back to it later. Like, hey, I still got to handle this. I know this is why I feel down, but I can't let you bother me or conquer me today because I need to conquer Monday through Friday and then deal with you later. You know, I need to get through my week, get through my day before I revisit this. And it works. It helps me. It has helped me come a long way as well.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy to think about, especially just like having to take that time or even putting it to the side, right? I feel like that's low key, not to like come at you. It's like a procrastinator fucking mindset, right? Because I'd be like that. I'd be procrastinating on everything, not wanting to get shit done.
Here's the thing. So with doing business with a lot of people, you deal with emotions as well, right? So you got people that's excited about something that's happening over here. You got somebody that's upset with something over here. You got people that, you know, want something from you over here. And when all this thing's going on, you're like, you feel overwhelmed. And you have to figure out how to, you know, deal with these people one by one. Like, hey, I know you're excited, but let's get it done first. Hey, hey, bro, I know you're feeling sad and down, but we got to get this done. Or, hey, look, like with family, like I recently lost my grandma. Rest in peace to Lily. And with my mom, you know, she was, you know, wanting me around more, but I had already put time into these trips, money into these trips, and I already had put a time aside for it. So I had to figure out how to still be there for her, how to make sure I, you know, made those phone calls, how I had to check in on my family, and I had to deal with my own emotions. I lost my grandma. So at that time, you know, you're dealing with all these emotions at once, not just yours, but other people as well. That's when it comes to I gotta put this aside over here, put this over here, come back to you later. Okay, I'm gonna deal with you now. You have to know how to divide those things and deal with them one by one, because if you don't, you're just gonna burn yourself out and you're gonna just collapse. It's the worst.
My condolences to you and your family.
Appreciate that.
And I feel like you know, talking about that's real. That's some real shit because, you know, just like I've explained multiple times, like, when you experience that loss, I lost both my grandmas at the same time, right? It's like sometimes you don't even process it right away. No. It's just like, damn, like I'm never going to see them again. Yeah. And then one day it hits you, it's like, damn, I'm really never going to see them again.
Yeah, I usually see my grandma at holiday parties or a birthday party, and, you know, that hasn't come up yet. My little sister's birthday's coming up next month, so that's going to be the first moment where we hit like, whoa. But, hey, my grandma, she talked about this time, she talked about this moment, like, hey, you know, one day I won't be here. But she instilled a lot of things in us, and I can tell that a part of her is in me because I act like her in some form of way. So when things like that do happen, you know, I can look at myself or my other family around me to be like, wow, she's still here, you know. And also, you know, we got an angel, you know. And when I pray, I'm praying to her.
What's one of those lessons that you learned from her?
Oh man, it's a lot of them. But I think the biggest thing from my grandma was like, don't let anyone hold anything over your head, right? She used to always say, people will promise you anything. People will say anything to you to get you to buy into them or get you to like them. But you have to understand it and know if it's true or not, right? That was the biggest thing. But also, like, she grew up in like the 60s, the 70s, so she dealt with a lot of discrimination. She was there during the civil rights movement. So she gave me a lot of education on that and told me how I was going to be treated as a black man in America. And she used to talk about all the time, like, if you're in a classroom, this is what you're going to deal with. When you're in a workplace, this is what you're going to deal with. And if I didn't have that, I would be so clueless and naive that I would let people treat me any type of way. But I know how to protect my peace now. I know how to handle situations, or I recognize when someone discriminating against me.
And you talk about that a lot, you know, especially recently on Twitter. You talked about Kendrick Lamar and how his new album embodies, you know, what black people were going through during the pandemic.
I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to him. I think like the reason why that stood out to me the most is because, during the pandemic, that was like the one of the biggest times we've seen a lot of movements go on for like black people and minorities as well. We've seen protests. We've seen different organizations being created. One of the biggest ones being the Black Lives Matter movement. It was already created, but we've seen a lot of funding go that way. We've seen different people show support, businesses and things like that. But I think Kendrick Lamar was trying to say that, there's a lot of black love, but there's still a lot of black hate. And there's a lot of black pain, even through these celebrities. And people like to glorify that through the media. Like if you noticed, he was in his single that he dropped before the album came out. It was O.J. Simpson that he changed his face to, Jussie Smollett, Nipsey Hussle, Will Smith. I think I'm forgetting one. But he changed, he was just trying to show that and emphasize it within that, which is cool, like I said, understanding those things, that's something my grandma instilled in me, which made who I am today. It made me understand a lot of things about the world, which is pretty dope.
What do you think about Jussie Smollett being involved in that video, considering that they ended up prosecuting him for a false allegation?
I think that was what he was trying to say there was that even when you black, you try to use black. I'm black, so you have to show me some sympathy, right? Like he was trying to use his blackness for support, which was bogus. Like, hey, if people did a racist act on me, he was using his blackness to get attention, which like in a bad way, which I think it was kind of bogus, and I didn't like that because it was like, come on, bro, like. I think he got killed off the show of Empire or something. He got kicked off the cast, so he was trying to find something else to get love.
Well, I think he got kicked off after he had done that.
Yeah, some had happened though, but it was kind of like, hey, bro, like I don't even want to see this on my feed. I don't want to pay attention to this because this is bogus. Like even still, when people retweeting and talking about it, you're still getting love because, like I said, in that love controversy, and people are talking about it, and I don't want to see that stuff, So. I was very against what happened. I didn't even.
It really be like that out here, bro.
It was whack. That situation was whack, bro. It's like you falsely claiming you're getting jumped by someone and they called you the N-word, bro. Like that's whack.
So let's move forward, right? You really highlighted mental health, and even through your social media, you've been talking about mental health a lot. What's one way that you've gone about making sure that you stay grounded and you stay, sane in a sense?
I think sometimes you have to sit down and reflect, take some alone time. I think people, if you're around people all the time and you don't think to yourself at all, and you always have other people in your ear, or you're always on social media reading other people's opinion, you're never going to be able to breathe, right? Because you're being suffocated by everything else in the world rather than being able to sit with your own thoughts, your own ideas. So, and that's why I love living by myself. It's only been 2 months, but man, there's days when I just sit there and think. I plan. I'm reflecting. I'm taking the time to understand what someone just said to me. It's better for my health because instead of reacting or behaving off something or not having a clear understanding of what's going on, sometimes that could take a toll on you. So when you're able to sit down, breathe a little bit, it helps you out. All right, you move at a better pace, at your own pace, rather than feeling rushed or being too slow on things. So. I think it's good to have good mental health.
Understanding that social factor too, right? That's super important, especially when you do what we do, right? Like we've mentioned, there's a lot of people who will use you for what they need or what they want. And I was talking to somebody about it, where your social meter is just dead, right?
Yeah.
And there's really nobody else that's going to refill that, right? You can have your community where people pour into you, you pour into people, but at the end of the day, it's really... okay, let me take that time, just like you said, to sit by yourself and really sit with your thoughts, because you're the only person that's got you.
Yeah. And when you do that, when you sit with your thoughts as well, you may discover something new about yourself, right? Like I said, you're gonna understand that emotion a little bit more. You like something that you thought you liked, you're gonna realize, no, I only liked that because I was around it, or because that person was constantly with me. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to take your time and step away from it and understand it a little bit more, right? Because I have a lot of people around me all the time, whether it's business, it's friendship, it's family. I realized that a lot of people are around me for certain things. And when I step back, I'm like, I got to create some distance from you.
What's one of those emotions that you felt like you had to learn to understand?
Anger. It was 100% anger. Like, I used to get angry. Like, I've dealt with a lot of situations. I put myself in bad situations because I got angry. And now I feel like I'm at the point now where I barely get angry. Like, it took me a while. My mom used to tell me about it. I had girlfriends tell me about it. And I was like, why and that's kind of, and I'm not going to lie, be completely honest right now on this podcast. That's one of the reasons why I gave up drinking for 2 months. It's because, like, I don't want to be that person. Because I think, when someone's happy and when they're on this high of happiness, they can't see clearly. When someone's sad and they're too depressed, they're always thinking negative. When you're angry, you just black out, right? So you sometimes don't remember what happened, right? You sometimes don't know why you behave that way. You just let your emotions take over. So I had to learn how to deal with that, right? Understand why things was happening. That's how I became a better problem solver. Instead of just being angry and getting mad at everything, I realized that, hey, take a breath. This happened because of this. This happened because of that. And this has been helping me a lot, man. And I think on the business aspect, too, because and me and Nico had to learn, too, when things will happen to us in business, it would be middle finger to that person instead of it be like, fuck you. But we have to learn, like, actually, that's not the situation. I'm going to understand you a little bit more why that's going on. Let me take some time to think about it. And we're getting better, and we're still growing, too. We're both young, so.
Nah, sometimes it really do be middle fingers to that person.
Maybe middle fingers,
They just fucked around and ruined your they ruined your vibe, and they wasted your time.
And wasted your time,
bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember, like, this, I think I was kind of near the point of, like, already, okay, I've learned how to deal with this emotion. And my boy Lou, it was a business situation he was dealing with. I remember I was at a bar. The first thing he did when he walked in was just got the yelling. He was like, why this about this? But he was like, because he was trying to get something done with his brand. And everyone cares about their brand and care about their business, right? And you always want to make sure that things are going the way you want it to go, And also, when it's money, you don't like when people pay with your money. He was just upset. And I was like, hey, take some time. Let's sit back, think about it, because there's no rush. Also, you're going to get what you want. You just have to just tell that person. You have to be vocal about it. So I think me and him was able to, like, get rid of those feelings that he had and actually see what he wanted. And he dropped one of the greatest drops that summer. And when he dropped a commercial for his negative brand, and that commercial was fire. And there was a lot of us that was involved, but he was just, something had happened that got to him, and I just had to, help him get over it.
Mm-hmm. Damn, bro. You guys be involved in so much shit that I love it, bro. I love to see you guys winning, and I love that I'm able to be a part of that, right? Yeah. Because that's the main thing is that, just like you said, there's a lot of people around you that you got to watch out for. So for you guys to be so accepting of, coming around and being involved, I appreciate that.
And that's one of the things. That's why we hang around you too, Matt. It's because you're supportive. Also, you have a brand that's good. It does something, right? It's a platform that I want to, bring attention to, because some people will be like, I want to start a podcast. They never do it. Or some people start a podcast and there's no system to it. You have a structure. You've had people come here. You have a theme. It's very well put together, So, like, it's really good to see that you're doing that, and we're always gonna be able to push it and support it.
That's all I really have for you, bro. Thank you once again. Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I did want to talk about a little more was the no drinking thing, right? Yeah. I forgot to go into that. So you said that you gave up drinking because of the anger.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons, the anger. But, like, after I lost my grandma, I kind of thought that, health is very important. My grandma's a healthy individual, right? She drank a little bit, but she never smoked in her life. But, I'm 26, man. I be seeing some people just throwing down drinks, and it's taking a toll on them. Like, you look sluggish. You don't look like yourself. I've seen people, I'm like, you drink a lot. I can't recognize you. Or, like, you acting out of body. You're not acting like yourself when you're drunk. And I was like, man, do I come off as that? Like, that's how I am. So I just, like, let me take a step back real quick a little bit. Because, when you do what we do, we're always at DJ sets. We're always at the club. We're always at events. So we're drinking. You see me drunk, And it's like, let me take a step back and figure out if what happens if I go 2 months without drinking. I've been drinking since I was in high school. I don't think I've ever took a break. Maybe during the pandemic I took like 3 weeks off, but I was still going to those little secret house parties, those secret events. So I was like, if I go 2 months without drinking, I might discover something new about myself that I didn't know. So it's a journey that I'm happy to be on.
What's something that you have learned?
I'm a lot more energetic. Like, my dog about to get this 2-mile walk in the morning. I'm about to be productive. I'm more willing to talk to people too. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not about to reply to this text, but now I'm like, oh man, I'll reply to this right now and you can hear what I have to say, or like I'll pick up this FaceTime. Like, I feel I'm in a better mood. I feel more energetic. I'm a little bit happier. If I had $1 million, I'll be a lot more happier. But
No, alcohol and exercise does that too, bro.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I didn't drink for like a year, so I quit drinking and I was just working out and fucking.
And I've been hooping a lot, yeah. So working out, yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, that was the healthiest I ever felt in my fucking life, bro. And I was.
And also, like that too, I love playing basketball. I haven't drank in 2 weeks. Man, the last few games I've played, I've won. I won. I want y'all to know that. You better let people know I've won.
He don't got skill, right?
I'm a bucket. So
I heard Nico beat you, and he's like half your size, bro.
No, Nico probably got me in a game or two because he's a great shooter. But come on,
shooters shoot.
Yeah, that boy, that shooters shoot. That boy be shooting his shot. That's a horny man.
Oh, not you, right? I thought you were number one on the top 3.
Nah. Hey, ladies, if y'all see this podcast, if y'all see this interview, look, I will give my address. Just DM me. My social media is Equan3 on Twitter and Instagram. So I am one of the horniest guys you'll meet. But it's going to be that good horny. You're going to have a good time.
But yeah, bro, I really appreciate you coming through. I feel like it was a very productive conversation, a conversation that I've needed because I've just been so far out that I'm like, fuck, I need to just talk to somebody for real and not have it feel forced.
You know how it be. We always have a good time, But yeah, I'm proud of you. Thank you for having me. I love being here, and I love expressing myself and also talking about the business that I've done with people.
So much more to come.
Yes.
Appreciate it, bro.
Always. That's
going to be all today, guys. Thank you for watching. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.